Good evening, students. Am I audible? Students, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll start the class in 2 minutes. Just revise the previous class topics. We'll get started. Okay, listen. So till last class, what were the topics that we discussed? We finished everything, right? Except power of lens. That is the only concept that is left out. So now we will discuss the concept of power of lens, which is given by the formula capital P. So basically, the concept of power of lens is nothing but the ability of a lens to converge or diverge the light rays depending on its focal length. Okay. So if you take a convex lens, okay, if the light rays are parallel to the principal focus, after reflection, they meet at a point called as the focus, right? So this depends on the extent to which this lens is able to converge the light rays. Similarly, if there is a convex lens, if the rays are taken parallel to the principal axis, then if you take it in the reverse direction, this is about the extent to which the material can diverge the incident rays. Okay, this distance is called as the focal length, and this distance is called as the focal length. So if you are able to define the reciprocal of focal length, that is what is called as power. Okay, that's all. So example is, if at all you have a convex lens of short focal length, it bends the light rays through large angles by focusing them closer to the optical center. Similarly, you take a concave lens of very short focal length, it causes higher divergence than one with the longer focal length. So the degree of convergence or divergence of light rays achieved by a lens is expressed in terms of its power. And basically, power of a lens is defined as the reciprocal of focal length. And it is represented by the symbol P. And this is the mathematical formula. Please note down, guys. Power is equal to 1 divided by F. So power is equal to 1 by F, where F is measured in meter. Okay. So power is equal to 1 by F in meter. So the SI unit of power is equal to diopter. Okay. This is the SI unit. And diopter is represented by the symbol capital D. Am I clear till this point, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's good. Now see, 1 diopter is the power of lens whose focal length is 1 meter. Okay, that is the definition. If they ask you to define diopter, 1 diopter is the power of the lens whose focal length is 1 meter. So 1 diopter is equal to 1 meter inverse. And the next important point that you can notice, we know that the focal length can be positive or negative. In a similar way, power can also be positive or negative. And since the focal length of a convex lens is positive, power of a convex lens is also positive, and that of a concave lens is negative. So please make a note of this point. Okay, guys. Now see, define 1 diopter of a power of lens. So what do you mean by 1 diopter? 1 diopter is a power of lens whose focal length is 1 meter. Okay. Second, a convex lens forms a real and inverted image of a needle at a distance of 50 centimeters from it. Where is the needle placed in front of the convex lens if the image is equal to the size of the object? Also find the power of the lens. I repeat it. So there is a convex, we know that a convex lens forms a real and a convex lens forms a real and inverted image of a needle placed at a distance of 50 centimeters from it. Where is the needle placed in front of the convex lens such that the image is equal to the size of the object? Answer. If you look at all the ray diagrams, which ray diagram tells you that the image and the object are at the same distance?
When the object is placed at center of curvature.
Very good. So what should be the distance? The distance should be the radius of curvature. Distance from optical center to the center of curvature is radius of curvature, right? Then what is going to be the focal length? What is going to be the focal length? Is it not 25 centimeter? Right. So focal length of a convex lens is positive. Then what is going to be the power, guys? One by F is equal. But you should not leave it in 25. 1 by 25 into 10 power minus 2. I told you clearly, focal length should be written only in terms of meter. 1 by 25 into 10 power minus 2 or 100 divided by 25. Answer will be 4. It will be plus 4 diopter. Is that clear? You understood why I wrote plus 4? Why did I write plus 4? Because it's a convex lens. Yeah. So find the power of a concave lens whose focal length is 2 meters. So power is equal to 1 by 2, which is 0.5 diopter. Power is equal to 0.5 diopter. Okay, that is all with respect to the power of lens. So 15th problem also we completed, right? Can we do the 16th one? Find the focal length of a lens of power minus 2 diopter. What type of lens is this? So F is 1 by 2. How much is it? 0.5 meter. So the focal length is 0.5 meter or 50 centimeter. And what kind of a lens is this, guys? What kind of a lens is this? It is concave, right? Similarly, the 17th one. So what is the 17th one? A doctor has prescribed a corrective lens of power 1.5 diameter. Find the focal length of the lens. Is the prescribed lens diverging or converging? See, what is the meaning of this corrective lens? You will learn it in the next chapter. Okay, that is the 11th chapter. So power is given as 1.5 diopter and it is positive. So what is going to be the focal length of the lens? Focal length will be 1 divided by 1.5 or 2 by 3, which is going to be 0.67 meter. Is the prescribed lens diverging or converging? You guys tell me. What is the meaning of diverging? Convex, and converging is concave. Right. So what is the type of lens that they have prescribed? The doctor has prescribed. I just now told you, no? Guys, are you clear or not with the concept? Is there anything you want me to explain? I asked a simple question. Why is no one answering? So it is a convex lens, right? Clear or not? At least answer for the question. So it is a convex lens. Okay. Anyways, so what I've done is I've prepared an assignment based on this chapter. Just give me a minute. I'll be sharing the assignment after the class. For now, you can have a look at my screen and then try to solve the problems. So right. So what is the answer? First answer. So the light from a distant object. What do you mean by distant object, guys? Where is the object placed?
At infinity.
Very good. So when you talk about a distant object, on passing through a convex lens of focal length f, it converges at 2f, it appears to diverge from focus, converges at focus, appears to diverge from 2f. What is the right answer? That is, when you take a convex lens, when the rays are taken parallel to the principal axis, after reflection will pass through focus. What is the answer? Are they getting converged or diverged?
Converged focus.
Yes, converged focus. Okay, next one is an interesting question. Okay, have a look at it. I want you all to try it. Okay, so there is a child who's standing in front of a magic mirror. She finds the image of her head bigger, the middle portion of her body of the same size, and the legs smaller. The following is order of combinations for the magic mirror from the top. Okay, if you observe, if a person is able to see the image of himself or herself in front of a mirror, that is always possible only when it is a virtual image. First point to be noted. Okay. So when a person is standing in front of a mirror and they are able to see themselves, then the image formed is supposed to be virtual. I hope you guys made a note of this point. It is supposed to be virtual. Right. So what is she observing? Her head is bigger. So a bigger virtual image is formed by which lens?
Concave.
Concave. So the option is supposed to be?
First one, concave, plane, and convex.
Yes, concave, plane. Let's verify the other two also. The middle part is of the same size. Obviously, a plane mirror forms an image of the same size. And the third one is convex, because convex lens forms images of, convex mirror forms images of diminished size, virtual images of diminished size. Okay. So answer is concave, plane, and convex. Next. If parallel beams non-parallel to the principal axis fall on the convex lens, they converge at what point?
Sir, for second
So,
question, you told it's virtual, sir. So can you explain that once more?
means, you see, if a person is able to see themselves in a mirror, okay. Suppose you stand in front of a concave mirror like this. Okay. If you don't stand between the focus and the pole, you don't stand between the focus and the pole, you'll be seeing real images, right? What do you think? What do we think real images are? Real images are something which we can see. No. The ones which are seeing in the mirror are actually virtual because they are formed behind the mirror. Okay. So since she is able to find the image of her head bigger, I could conclude that she is able to see herself. So she will be able to see herself only when it is a virtual image, right? And what is the only virtual images are produced by three mirrors. What are they? Plane mirror, convex mirror, and concave. Convex always forms virtual, but concave forms virtual under only one scenario. When is it? When you place it between the focus and the pole. I hope you remember this. Secondly, listen to this carefully. Concave mirror is the only mirror that can form a virtual image which is magnified. And that is the reason why we could conclude that it is a concave mirror. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So third one, did anyone get the answer for this? So they are seeing parallel beam of rays, but they are not parallel to the principal axis. Obviously, what is going to happen? Where do you think they are going to get converged?
Center of curvature.
So on the principal axis.
You're guessing or you know the answer?
So I'm seeing the answer, sir.
Okay. So what are you saying? First option?
So option C, sir.
On the principal axis. But actually what would happen is, listen, the rays will get converged in such a way that the image will be formed away from the principal axis. Okay, because you'll be able to find the, see, anyway, this kind of a question will not come for you, but it is for your knowledge. Try to understand what is the basic definition of focus. When you take a set of parallel rays which are parallel to the principal axis, that is important. When you take a set of parallel rays parallel to the principal axis, after refraction will meet at a point on the focus. Whereas when you talk about the rays which are not parallel to the principal axis but they are parallel to themselves, they will form an image slightly away from the principal axis. It is because there will be a different level of bending. Right? Actually, I cannot get into inner details because the Snell's law comes into picture. Because the lens is the one which is undergoing refraction. No. So Snell's law comes into picture, and this is what is going to happen. So for this, you can make a note alone. It forms away from the principal axis. Fourth one. The image of distant object is obtained on a screen by using a concave mirror. The focal length of a mirror can be determined by measuring the distance between so a distant object is made to fall on a concave mirror. Let's say you're doing this experiment in your lab, and let's say there is a tree outside, and this tree is made to fall on this mirror, and you're able to find the image of the tree over here. Okay. Now, how are you going to measure the focal length of this? So this is where the screen is kept. Guys, tree is what? Distant object. So from the distant object, the rays will be parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, where will they form? On the principal axis at a point called as the focus. Now, obviously, what is going to be this distance? Is this not the focal length? So if you measure the distance between the mirror and the screen, you will be able to get it. See, this one, you will do it practically in the lab. It is actually a practical based question. When you do it in the lab, you'll find the approximate focal length of the concave mirror that they have given. Okay. And that approximate focal length is said to be found using the distant object method. Okay. I know all these are slightly tougher questions, but I brought it so that your thought process can be improved. The last one, this is an interesting one. See. So the angle at which the incident ray at an angle theta deviates on getting reflected from a surface R. So let's say it is hitting the surface at an angle theta. Right. It will get reflected at the same angle theta. So how much is the deviation it is undergoing? So this is called as deviation. Deviation. Okay, I'll write it as capital D. So how much will be the deviation, guys? Is it not 180 minus 2 theta?
180 minus 2 theta.
That is the answer. Okay. Next. After this, all are theory questions, subjective questions, which you guys can solve. Only the first 5 was slightly tough. What is an optically rarer medium? At least this answer, guys, is an easy question. I've told this many times. How do you define optically rarer medium? So, if two media are given to you, how will you conclude which one is optically rarer and which one is optically denser? Simple question, guys. Why is no one speaking? The medium in which the
Sir,
light
can
ray
you hear
travels.
me, sir?
Yeah. Tell me, Vaish.
Sir, if the speed of light in medium 1 is greater than the speed of light in medium 2, then
Yes.
the medium 1 is a rarer medium.
Rarer medium, right? So the better, what you told is 100% right. So better way to define this is a medium in which the light is faster compared to the other medium is said to be rarer. Please make a note of it. A medium in which light is faster compared to the other medium is called optically rarer medium. Okay. Next. 7th one. Which mirror, convex or concave, has larger field of view? Let me explain what is the field of view. If suppose you have a bus and you're going in a car, okay, and you're seeing what is there on your right hand side, you're trying to observe the bus through a mirror which is in the front, which is a rear view mirror, which is showing the back end, right? So if you look at the rear view mirror, what kind of a mirror is used there? Is it a concave or a convex?
Concave mirror, sir.
Is it concave? It is actually a convex mirror. Why? Because convex mirror is the only mirror which can form a virtual image of diminished size, because it is diverging in nature, right? It can form a virtual image of diminished size. Means even a bigger bus will appear to be smaller. Apart from that, you can see many other objects also on the road. Guys, are you able to understand? So that is what we mean by larger field of view. Means you are able to see a larger area. Whereas if you use a concave mirror, what will happen is a concave mirror. If a concave mirror is basically used in shaving mirror, I'm not sure if you guys have seen it in the hotels or something. Right? When you go close, you can see your face to be very big. Maximum, your head and the chin might also get cut off as you keep moving closer, because it is having a lesser field of view. So what is the meaning of field of view? You will be able to see a larger area even in a smaller mirror. Clear? So answer is convex mirror, because it has more convex mirror, because it can form a virtual image of diminished size. Clear? Next.
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by absolute refractive index, guys? What do you mean by absolute?
Sir, the ratio of speed of light in vacuum to the speed of light in a given medium.
Perfect. So absolute refractive index is speed of light in vacuum divided by the speed of light in a given medium. Speed of light in vacuum is how much? 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second. Okay, that's right. Let's look at the 9th one. Refractive index of diamond with respect to glass is 1.6 and the absolute refractive index of glass is 1.5. Find the absolute refractive index of diamond. So refractive index of diamond with respect to glass is 1.6. So refractive index of diamond with respect to refractive index of glass is 1.6. And the absolute refractive index of glass is 1.5. Mu d divided by 1.5 is equal to 1.6. So what will be the refractive index of diamond, guys? 1.5 into 1.6. So 1.5 you can write it as 3 by 2. So if you write it as 3 by 2, 1.6 by 2 will be 0.8. 0.8 into 3 is how much? So refractive index of diamond is 2.4. You can check it in your textbook. There is a tabular column for refractive indices, right? There you can see the refractive index of diamond will be somewhere around this value. Am I clear, guys? Please make a note of this. Okay. Next. Why does a ray of light bend when it travels from one medium to another? What is the theory involved, guys?
Due to refraction of light, sir.
That is right. What property of the medium is making this refraction occur?
Optical density.
That's right. Optical density, but optical density itself is dependent on some other parameter. What is it? It has something to do with the speed of light. So when a light is traveling from one medium to another, the speed of the light changes. Okay. So if speed of the light is going to change, as a result of which the refraction, the phenomenon of refraction is going to come into picture. Actually, this is not worth 3 marks, but okay, it has been asked. One mark question. So when a light ray is bending from, when a light ray is traveling from one medium to another, the speed of the light changes when it travels from one to another. Hence, the phenomenon of the refraction comes into picture. Okay. Next. So there is a real image. Okay, a real image is formed. It's 4 by 5 times size of the object. It is formed at 18 centimeter from a lens. Calculate the focal length of the lens. So magnification given is equal to 4 by 5. It is a real image. Guys, are you able to understand? So magnification is equal to V by U is equal to 4 by 5, which implies V is equal to 4 by 5 times U. Let this be equation number 1. Okay. So what is the formula that, what is the only formula that we have to calculate the focal length of a lens? 1 by V minus 1 by U is equal to 1 by F. But before that, V is given to be at a distance of 18 centimeter. So take that and substitute it here. 18 is equal to 4 by 5 times U. So U will be how much? This will be 9 times 2 times. 45 by 2, that is 27.5. Or I can just leave it as 45 by 2 centimeter. Right. Now take all these values and substitute in this. 1 by, with respect to a convex mirror, if it has to be a convex lens, yes, how I found it is a convex lens because it is forming a real image and they mentioned it is lens. So I found it as convex lens. U is this much, V is this much, F is equal to how much? So V is positive. So 1 by 18 minus 1 divided by 45 by 2 is negative. So minus 45 by 2 is equal to 1 by F. So 1 by 18 plus 2 by 45 is equal to 1 by F, which implies 45 plus 36 divided by 45 into 18 is equal to 1 by F. So find the focal length and that will be the answer. I think 45 by 2 is 22.5. Anyways, fortunately, I didn't use it. So it will be 81 divided by 45 into 18, guys. This will go 2 times, this will go 9 times. So 9 divided by 90. So focal length will be 90 divided by 9, or it is 10 centimeter. Okay, the focal length of this lens is 10 centimeter. And is it going to be positive or negative? Is it going to be positive or negative? Since it's a convex lens, it is going to be positive only. Next, in what units is the SI? In what SI unit is the power of lens stated? It is diopter, which is capital D. So a convex lens has a focal length of 50 centimeter. Calculate its power. So power is equal to 1 by F. 1 by 50 into 10 power minus 2. That will be 100 divided by 50, which will be 2. The answer is 2 diopter. So next question. A student wants to project the image of a candle flame on the walls of a school laboratory using a lens. Which type of a lens he or he should use and why? So he's going to have a candle here and he will keep a lens in between, and this is the wall. If this candle's image should be captured on the wall, what are the type of lens he should use? What is the type of lens he will use, guys? He will use convex lens because that is the only one which forms a real and that forms a real image. That's it. That forms a real image when placed between focus and infinity. Okay. At what distance in terms of focal length of the lens he should place the candle flame so as to get a magnified and a diminished image respectively on the wall. Where should he place it? For this kind of, look at the ray diagram and tell, no, at least. Go open your textbook, look at the ray diagram and tell me. Okay, at least see this, no?
Sir, it should be placed between C and F.